Hello, you lovely people. I hope all is well. Jen Maynard here from the Boho Bride Guide, and you are with us on our weekly Wedding Business Builder check-in. Today, we are talking all things, what does my fully booked look like and how can I maximise my profit? That's what we're going to have a look at. So when I work with wedding suppliers, part of their journey with me, we look at clarifying what their business goals are and what will enable them to achieve a true business life balance and financial stability that works for them. And so I'm going to take you through that activity that we have a look at. So it's made up of three aspects, and we're going to basically, over those three steps, we're going to identify what your fully booked looks like. Things like how often you'll work, what your profit will look like as it stands at present. And then we're going to look at how you can increase your profits by diversifying your product offerings. Okay, so we're going to hit straight in, but this will be really beneficial for everyone actually, as the world opens up and weddings take place again. We can really sort of refocus our strategy and sort of business goals for the rest of the year, and yeah, just refocus what we're looking at, and you know, whether it's going to be small profits this year or larger, hopefully, it doesn't matter. Getting these goals and sort of clarifying how many weddings you want from now to the end of the year and what that profit will look like will really help you sort of plan your finances and plan and sort of, you know, structure what you are doing in all of your business activities going forward. So first step really of the three steps, we need to get clear on what profit you want to make, and let's say between July and the end of the year, which is Q3 and Q4. If that doesn't work, you can still apply all of this to later dates if you plan on not you know, kicking off this year at present. But let's go Q3, Q4. And to do this, you firstly need to be clear on what packages and products you offer. Okay, so it's really quite difficult if you haven't got a view as yet as to you know, what you offer, and you know, if it's so bespoke that you don't know what you're going to be paid, it's quite difficult to work it out. So this is the first step. Okay, so have a look at your packages, then concentrate on, you know, of those products or packages that you offer, what labour costs are involved, you know, what materials are involved, and what, you know, what your outlays, and then the sort of wider aspects around you know, your rent, your bills, your you know, subscriptions that you might have, and then all of the sort of wider aspects. You know, make a long list of what all of those are, work out how much they are, and then almost you can break those down, divide them by the number of weddings that you want to plan in for the rest of the year, and then you will get a really clear idea of what your profit is per product. So I've got a bit of an example for you. So from my business, Parker and Peony Flowers, so wedding floristry, I've got some overarching products that I work this out from. So I've got a small wedding at about £340 profit after my labour, after all the costs. My medium wedding is about £800 profit after all of the outlay, and larger wedding at about 1,200. And then I've got other products. So I offer a blooms and prosecco party, and that's at about just under £140. And then I've got winter wreath workshops. So that's, you know, when we get near winter. So let's go with 5 products. And so I'm clear on how much profit I make per product. That's what you need to go to then the next step. Okay, so step number 2, once you've worked that out, we then need to think about what your capacity is, both what you can work and actually what you want to work. You know, it's really important to me that we're considering what we want our true work-life balance to look like. We are on this earth for such a short amount of time. We put so much effort into creating our wedding businesses that we need to make it work for us. And this is a really sort of helpful way of figuring out what you need to be doing, when, and what your products are going to be pulling you in, basically. Okay, so capacity. For example, then, so Q3, which is between July and September, I want to be fully booked. So my level of fully booked would be 2 weddings a week. So that makes it 24 weddings over that quarter. And I've broken it down, and this is sort of from my previous knowledge of what happens. But sometimes if it's your first year, it's going to be a bit of a finger in the wind kind of thing. But put it down as what you aspire to book in. So I've said 10 small weddings, I've said 10 medium weddings, and I've said 4 large weddings. Okay, so then I can clearly work out what my profit will be before tax and all of that caper. But that quarter, if I was fully booked, I would be pulling in £17,500. Coming into then October, and remembering that is like peak wedding season, and I know it's not as clear cut these days, people are getting married all year round, but that is flat out 2 weddings a week, all booked in. Q4, I've calmed that down slightly because it's not quite at that level of capacity. So I've said for small weddings, I've still said 10. Then I've said medium weddings, I can envisage 4 as being full capacity, and then 2 larger weddings in that time frame. And actually, I also want to calm down. I don't want to be working flat out throughout the sort of autumn, winter. So, that's what I've considered as well. That means I'm going to be doing 5 blooms and prosecco parties and 6 winter wreath workshops, because it's that time of year. And so by being clear about what products I'm going to be providing in that time, I can easily work out that my fully booked, I will then be earning just over £11,000 in Q4 this year. That then makes it so much easier to plan out and then, figure out not only from a financial point of view, but from, your activities. So by knowing that that's what you're going to be doing capacity wise, maybe you need to start thinking about scheduling your social media, because you're going to be busy doing the scheduling social media, and what campaigns are you going to be running, what are you going to be talking about, does that then link into the products that you're going to be providing? It's all really useful sort of data that you can help gauge what you're going to be talking about. It could also help around, what shoot collaborations do you want to be involved in? If you need to up your winter weddings, maybe you need to be involved in a winter shoot that's promoting that sort of season. It will dictate then what you're talking and networking to other suppliers around, and who you might need to build those networks with. So all of this data is really it's gold when it comes to planning and setting goals as a wedding business owner. Okay, so coming into then, you will then have a clear picture of what your Q3 and Q4 looks like, and you can do this then for 2022 as well, but I've just used this as an example. When you are feeling confident with that, and you've got to the point at where you are fully booked, and you haven't got any more capacity, and you don't want to have any more capacity, how do we then create more profit without having to split ourselves in 2 kind of thing? And that's what I want to look at next. Okay, so how do we increase our profit by diversifying our products is the next section. So I've got some ideas. So number 1, employing a team. So if you can no longer keep up with the demand and you want to increase your capacity within your business, you can get freelance equivalent. So for me, it'd be freelance florist. I'd sort of employ on a temporary basis, or a full employee if that works for you. Or looking at the other side of your business, the sort of hidden things that we need. So maybe not on the days of the weddings, but what about considering a social media VA or a VA to help with your administration and, you know, the communications between your clients? All of that takes so much time. Assistance with quotation, you know, when you get to the level of you're fully booked, these are the things that you can start to disseminate out to a third party that you trust and that you have that working relationship with, but will gain more time in your world. And again, coming back to that, creating that true business life balance. Okay, another idea is to collaborate and team up with either other suppliers within the same arena as you, or in a different specialism, but they sort of go hand in hand. So, you know, makeup artists and hairstylists, or, you know, there's loads of synergies that you can create packages around, and actually you're giving that sort of one-stop shop for the client, so it gains that sort of kudos around what you're offering. And so, you know, if you're collaborating as well, the likelihood is that you can take on some of the bigger weddings that you know, that you potentially aspire to work on, but you've always sort of shied away if you and a one-person band. But if you're collaborating, you can go in there and you've got both guns blazing. The other side of things, you can increase your prices. So, you know, just because you're fully booked at that level, that then means that you can turn up your turn up the level of your pricing. So then you are catering for a smaller audience, but you're still gaining the profit that you would have, or more so. And you are basically providing that luxury service. You know, that what are you providing over and above what you would have to warrant that additional sort of price rise, but that for you will be gaining more profit for less of your time, or more profit for the same amount of time but smaller amount of clientele. And to do this, things that you need to really consider if this is a route that you want to go down is to, you know, really niche down and specialize in one area of the wedding world, because then it's easier for you to then dominate that space and become that key person of influence. And really that is how you can go on to the journey about starting to put your prices up, really. And if you are sort of over inundated with inquiries, that's probably a good time also to reconsider your pricing, because what you're offering is obviously attracting the masses, and actually you can start to narrow it, you know, specialize and work with a smaller amount of clients and give a bigger, better, more luxurious service. And also consider controlling your supply and demand. Now, I don't see this done too much with wedding suppliers, so it could be a real opportunity. And what I mean by that is, you know, you are in control of what you offer to the world. And, you know, we know that saying around supply and demand and how they work together. And basically, you are in control of the supply of your products. So by withholding that, oh, I've got some music going on, I think, random. By withholding your supply and only offering your product at a certain amount of times of the year, you are creating that sort of energy and, oh, quick, we need to get in while it's open, you know, and yeah, just creating a buzz around what you're offering. So what I mean is, an example is sort of offer your products seasonally. So, for example, I would potentially, you know, make a lot of noise around my books are currently closed, like from, I'll say, January the 16th, okay? So in December and early January, I am talking about, oh, we're opening this date, you know, get ready, we're nearly open, we've got a small amount of places that you can take up, and then open your books for a certain amount of time, and that will, you know, people will have to decide and make decisions on whether they want to work with you or not. And you know, it time and time again, it shows that that sort of method works for getting people to get in action and get that deposit in, basically. And whether you open your books, you know, 3 times a year, or, you know, you decide, but that is another way of sort of increasing your sort of your profit and diversifying what you're offering. Okay, and the last but not least, and the biggest piece really, is around sort of investing in semi-passive products in your product sort of hierarchy. So for a lot of us, we swap our time for money. You know, we are there, we are planning a wedding, we are there on the day, and we are, you know, running there and back to provide that service for that client. We've only got so much time in the day, and so we can quickly reach our capacity, and you know, by doing the fully booked activity, you can quickly see what your fully booked capacity is, and how do we go above that? That is by creating semi-passive products. Okay, what do I mean by semi-passive products? Okay, in the wedding world, these are some examples that you could consider. DIY products. So rather than you be at the wedding providing that service, you can provide the materials all packaged up into a lovely package that then the wedding client can come and collect. They set it up for a nominal fee. It'll be a lower fee than you doing the full bespoke package, but you are not having to be there. You are not trading your time for money. What about renting out wedding equipment that you're not using for that week to other wedding suppliers? Again, you will gain some income from that, and but you won't be trading time for money. What about creating a sort of saleable physical product on your website? You know, so it takes a lot of outlay up front, but if you can have a small range of products that you have got created, you know, you've gone through the product development, and I don't know whether that's clothing, a t-shirt, or jumpers, or, you know, pencil case, or something that relates to your wedding world, that they didn't, but relates to your wedding world, that your ideal community coming to your website will be interested in, and having a shop on your website that, you know, it takes, once you've developed them, it takes very little effort from you to ship them out to them. What else have I got? I talked about subscriptions. So again, from the floristry world, you can consider creating sort of a monthly flower subscription, where, you know, if they sign up, they get a bunch of, you know, a seasonal bouquet every month, or, you know, for 6 months or 3 months, or however much you like. So again, with subscriptions, it is sort of a lower effort, but you are firstly sort of growing your know, like and trust with those clients. So it's a really good as like your entry into your, you know, potentially them booking you for weddings, but also it is a good sort of consistent earner. And actually, if they're on a subscription, you can plan out your accounts as well, because, you know, if they're committed to 3 or 6 months, that money is there in your bank. So that's one to think about. And also, I've written down affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing, if you have a blog and you've got quite a lot of engagement on there, if you've got other accounts, sort of social media accounts that do, have a look at affiliate marketing. An example, if you are a photographer and you've got a wedding blog that you want to grow, and if the people that are reading it, actually both wedding clients and other photographers or other wedding suppliers, if you start talking about the kit that you use, the photography kit, you could become an Amazon affiliate. They've got an Amazon affiliate program, and whenever you talk about the product, you put a highlight, a link to Amazon, but inadvertently that has got your affiliate account linked. So whoever purchases through that link, you get a cut of what has been sold. I'm out of date, but I think on photography kit, it's about 8%, or at the time of this, it's about 8%. And then other products like books and that sort of stuff goes down to about 4%. But it can, you know, if you've got a high number of people looking on your account, that's worth considering. The last thing I wanted to finish on was to talk about online courses. Now, I am a major advocate of how an online course can fit really well into a wedding business. You know, have a think, you know, firstly, have a think at what audience you could create an online course for. You know, it could be, what about other suppliers? So, you know, if you've got a successful wedding business that you have grown from scratch, why not consider a course around how you did that? There are so many, you know, small business owners that want to enter the wedding world with their new business, and they would find your knowledge of massive value. So that's if you could think about the suppliers being your customer there, or it could be your wedding client. So an example in, again, sorry, the floristry world, I could create a course around teaching DIY brides how to create the basics. So it could be how to create a buttonhole, how to create a bouquet, how to create a table arrangement that's eco-friendly. The sort of whatever things people are asking you about, whoever has said to you, how do you do that? Try and rack your brains. Who has asked you? How did you do that? That's where you can make a course. Okay, I'm going to be doing some more talks around the possibilities of semi-passive income, because I think it is a massive opportunity for us as wedding suppliers to start implementing some of these things into our product hierarchy. But that's all I'm going to chat about today, just to give you a little flavour. And what else is that? I think that's it, really. So my question to you is, what semi-passive income streams could you implement within your business? I would love to hear in the comments. Thank you for staying with me, because I've been on live for a little while now, but I would love to know what, if anything, has sparked your imagination from this live. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next week on Friday for the next Wedding Business Builder check-in. Lots of love. Bye.